Good evening. Who is it that's joined me tonight? Oh, you've gone off piece with it, Alison. That'd be interesting. I'd love to see it. Big question is, have you got any photos in it already? Evening, Nicole. Right, just let me sort my scraps out. As you can tell, I have actually done some fussy cutting, but then put it all in the same A4 plastic wallet and got them all mixed up, so that needs finishing. I had most of it caught up. Oops. Right, so that's them. There's the tags. That's that one. Yes, I did sit and cut all the little tiny butterflies out. I did it watching the ladies' football last night, and unfortunately 2 of the butterflies had wings chopped off because it got a little bit interesting. So, put that there. Hi, Janelle. Just finished trimming this tag off. Oops. So what's everybody been up to? Has anybody been crafting recently? Over there. So these are the bits of the doily that I had left. So that's my book, and there's my pages. So tonight is going to be really tricky. I'm going to decide, because I've changed my mind a few times, which page I'm going to use for the front. Now I quite like that one, but I like that one as well. Not so keen on that one. No. So, as I've said before, because the album covers were 8 1/4, that 8x8 page will just fit nicely on there. So let me lose my ink pad. Oh, 3 days at the coast sounds amazing. 3 days at the coast scrapbooking sounds even better. Oh, that sounds really good. Did you have to cook while you were there, Janelle, or did you have to, was it all catered for? Nicole, let me have a look. So the photo mats, I'll show you later when I get to it. Just before I start tonight, I want to show you something that I've got in the shop at the minute. These are 49 and Market, which I'm sure you've all heard of, big picture album kits. Now, when they first came out, I think this one was not last year, the year before, these boxes were £85 to buy. They've actually come down and I've managed to get them at a really, really good price. Now with this, you open your box up. Now, as you can see, it's got a pattern on the inside of the box. So when you've actually finished your album, you can turn your box inside out, so that then becomes your lid that way, and that becomes a box to keep your album in. So it comes with full instructions, step by step, so it tells you which elements to take out and what to do for the first, second and third steps. And wherever it's grey here is where you put your photographs. So let me pull this out. Oops. So as you can see underneath, that will then go and be the outside of the box when you've finished. That's your cover, so no more cracking your spines, and it's all ready and done for you. All your pages are in here and numbered. Put them the right way up. So you've got there page number 1, number 2, 3, 4, I don't think that'll show up as well, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then you get your 2 sheets of that double-sided, 2 sheets of the paisley double-sided, 2 sheets of the butterflies with the green on the back, and 2 sheets of text with like I don't know if it's a dog's tooth or a hound's tooth pattern on the back. So I'm just trying to keep it all in order, then I don't mess it up. I have actually got one of these on the go at the minute, but it's kind of come to a stop. So that's all your kit, your pages. You then have all your tags, all your little ticket tags. She's just thrown all over the floor. Some journaly tags in the blue, the green and the pink. 2 little think it could be vinegar tags, who knows. And long ticket tags, so they're all die cut, so you don't have to, it really is a kit on the go. You do just need your glue with this kit. Pop these back in here. Somebody messaged me in the week and asked me what was in it because they weren't quite sure. And then in this one, and I can get in it. So in this one, those of you that are familiar with 49 and Market, so that is page 1 and all your die cut bits that you need for page 1. Some of these little, I want to call them button tags, are interchangeable on the different pages. So there's page 1. I think that's page 2. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So some of them go over 2 pages, but everything is die cut, and it is literally just, as you can see from there, you just pop them out and they come out really, really easily. So they are absolutely good, and you just need your photos and glue. See that one, the middle bit's already dropped out. It was that good. And let's face it, it saves us fussy cutting. So there's that one, and some more of the florals there. And also in that packet you get, now these, it doesn't look very exciting, but it's actually, in fact I'll get mine out to show you. So if you turn the box the other way round, that's what it looks like. So when you've done your book, you just turn your box. If I've got any papers left, I think I might cover that up. But it makes a really nice presentation box. It's actually washi tape. So you literally just, and it's pre-cut. If I get my thumb under there, pull this bit off. So you wash it is, get rid of that, it's all stuck to my arm. So that is pre-cut washi tape, so you just lift it up and use as much or as little as you want. You can cut it, you can tear it, entirely up to you, but that is such a good idea, and they all the papers and everything match with the kits. So that's your washi. And the bit that I absolutely love in this kit is, oops, it comes with a pre-scored hinge. So I don't know if it's going to show up with it all being white on white, but these are your hinges to stick your pages to, your gussets, and then your flaps at the end to attach to the inside of your book. But yeah, so that is, it just makes life so much easier, and it's just a little bit shorter than the book, so it will fit in nicely. Once you've made your hinge, that will just sit in there, and then you can attach your pages to it. I just think it's such an amazing kit. And like I say, where is it? It is step-by-step instructions. Now, one thing I've done on the couple of pages, where it's got here, they've got the washi tape all the way across. Now, to me, that seems a little bit wasteful. So I've just put a bit at each end, because there's no point wasting a full strip of washi, because I'm sure it'll come in for something else. So yeah, that is step by step. Just pop it back in here. So like I say, they were really expensive when they came out, but I've managed to get them, and I don't know, Mr. Trump didn't catch me with tariffs this time. So I'm actually doing these for $39.99 at the minute. I had a quick look online, and I know Tonic have got some in, but there's a $49.99 for exactly the same box. Let me just, you've all been chatting while I've been showing you. Nicole, yes, I can show you the other kit. Unfortunately, I haven't got it with me today. I'll show that next week. It's downstairs in the garage at the minute. Evening, Lorraine. I've never used oh, Nicole, you're in for it. Is beautiful papers. In fact, it's not paper, it's more of a cardstock. So yeah, 49 and Market is one of, I was going to say it's a secret crush, but it's not so secret because I do love it. Anyway, so get back to the book that I should be doing. If you hear something go thud, I've piled everything up at the side of me. It may slide off. We'll see. So, inking the edges up. Oops. And undo my glue. Make sure I've got it the right way up. So if I line that up, I've put quite a bit of glue on because I want to be able to wiggle it till it's straight. Okay, so that's that one. Now, back pages. I've already got a set of tags, so I don't need that one. I think I'm going to go with that one for the back. Oops. Has anyone seen any of the new Christmas papers that are being sneaky peeked yet that they like the look of? I've seen the Stamperia one that was on, they showed it on Facebook. I don't know, it doesn't, it's a beautiful paper, but I don't know if it shouts Christmas to me. so I'm just hanging off on that one at the moment. Right, I'm going to leave those two to dry while I sort my pages out. So that's my front page. So this one now, I need to cut my photo mats. So put that down to 6 inches. I'm going to pop that there, and then I think I'm going to go off pieced. They're not big enough. So I'm just going to tuck that behind there and put my photo mat there. So just going to ink the edges. I could put a large piece behind there, but it just seems a waste. So if I pop that there, move it up a little bit, that there, and then my photo mat can, there's my better clip. So I've popped my photo mat on, so that's going to go there like that. New Halloween one from Graphic 45. Ooh, I don't remember seeing the Halloween one. Does that mean I need to go off and do some investigation about it? So I think with this one, I'm going to put that there, but because I've not got my photograph on yet, I'm just going to ink the edges. And then I'm going to just put glue down this side like that, so that I can pop that there. But when I get my photograph, it will just slide underneath, and then I can stick it down more once the photograph's in place. What's the difference between the two glues? Nothing. That's the Sticks 2 3D PVA, and so's that one. That's a 100ml bottle, but I have rheumatoid arthritis in my wrist, but I've also got osteoarthritis in this bone, I don't know what it's called, this bone here, and that sometimes can be quite stiff, whereas that one's a bit squidgy, and that's easier to squidge out. So to be honest, I tend to use that one more and just decant it from there into there, and if that's too heavy, I tend to get hubby or son to do it for me. If my arm's particularly bad, I get them to do it. Ask them very nicely, and then if they say no, I don't make tea. So there's page 2. 1, 2. So then we've got our pocket pages. Now on this one, I die cut that. I might actually pop that on the front, or I might leave it. No, I like that better. So I've popped the fussy cut basket of flowers on the front there. So with your offcuts of card, you have so you've got one that will literally just fit in there. So don't forget, when you're doing this section here will be glued onto your hinge, so your photo mat won't go all the way to the edge, it will just go to there. So that needs to be, so if I cut that down, those down to 6 inches, then cut those down to 6 inches, and I'm just going to trim that one because it was a bit too fat. So they will just, whoops, slide in your pockets. And just realised I've not actually inked the edge on this, so I'm just going to go round. Like that. And just do those edges and then flip it over because it will be seen from both sides. So that's one. And the second one, oops, move them out of the way. Janelle, I've seen the Uniquely Creative ones. They're I think, are they an Australian company? If it's the one I'm thinking of, they are very pretty. Just need to see if it works. With the exchange rates at the minute, sometimes it can just be a little bit costly to import things. So I'm gonna slide that one in there. So there's our 2 pockets. Now on the back of that one, I've just stuck a tag with a bird on it. I'm gonna stick that one on there. Again, I'm just going to ink the edges. Blob of glue on the back. Make sure the flower's the right way up. Always works. So that's page 2. So, done page 3. That one's got the doors on. Then, so we did that one last week. So popped a little bit there. There is still some give under there. I've not glued all the way down so that your photograph can be slid in there. So if you turn that over, again, you've already got that showing as decoration, and you can slide your photograph under there before you stick it down. And then, so this is our corset page. Just trimming them down because they just look a bit too long. We've got just popped a bit of the doily at the top and another one of the baskets of flowers. So on this one, this is where we cut our square, and then cut it diagonally and pop these here. Now with this one, these two are overlapping, but I've not stuck it down yet, so you can stick your photographs in first, and then move that out of the way. I'm going to use, maybe pop that one there, and then I think so before I stick this one down, I'm going to slide that under there. So you've just got a section of that doily showing. It's not a lot, but it just gives that bit extra. So if I just slide that under there, and then you've just got that little bit there showing, and then I will ink the edges of this one. So if I'm popping that like that, I just need to put a little bit of glue in this top corner. And then again, you've still got room to pop your photograph underneath. You can put your photos underneath like that. Okay, one stuck. So again, with this one, we've got a corner piece that we've cut off. We've got our doily at the bottom. Now, oh, I've lost. So, stick that one at the top. Let's have a quick catch while Lorraine's still fussy cutting. Yeah, it is a bit of a long job, but it is worth it at the end. Although I do like the 49 and market when it's all die cut for you. Nicole, use about 3/4 a bottle then. Oh no, Nicole, what you need to do is get a small one that's quite what do you call it when it's easy to squidge. It's definitely not as hard as that. It's quite straightforward. I guess it's soft plastic, for want of a better word. Now I'm going to do, I want to put this bird here. So I'm going to pop the bird there, but I want something here. Maybe that one. Pop the bird for escaping the cage. Why don't you like the die cuts, Lorraine? Isn't it strange how we all have our own little favourites? So I'm just going to pop that there, just glue at the bottom. So again, you can still get your photograph behind it. So with the bird, I'm just going to put a bit on the feet and his belly. So you can still pop your photo behind. Yeah, they do, Nicole. They do have too much white around them. It just depends. I think some of the Stamperia ones are quite good without that white round them. But yeah, I know where you're coming from with that. So you've got that there. Now, leave it. Okay, so I've got one photo mat in there. I had a tag, but I'm going to put another photo mat. So if I cut this at 6 inches, and then at 4, now I've cut these down to 6 by 4, which yes will be the size of our photos, but I can get 2 or 3 out of an A4 sheet of card like that. And all you have to do then is just trim off 1/4 of an inch off 2 of the sides of your photographs. Have I got any ready? No, that's too big. So that's my photo mat, and that's my photograph, and they're both 6 by 4. So if I trim 1/4 of an inch off 2 sides, that means that when I put that on my photo mat, you've got just that little bit of reveal around the side. If you don't want as much as that, if you trim 1/8 of an inch off, you will have a smaller reveal. But I just, because it's A4 card, you can get 2 6, no you can't, you can get 2 4-inch photo mats across. So if we stick that there, what I'm going to do with this tag is actually put a little blob of glue on the front and stick that to the inside of your pocket. And I'm going to choose another one. So this one's got the white butterfly on. Again, just a little bit on the front of the pocket there. And just hold that in place till it, and then just because I can, so I'm just going to pop a blob of glue on there and a blob of glue on there, line it up and hold that in place while I have a quick read. Some die cuts, yeah they do. Using tacky glue at present. Sometimes I find that the tacky glue doesn't always dry clear if it blobs out a little bit. But yeah, the 6-2, it's great, but I can't, on a particularly bad day, I can't squeeze that one. Which is why I just keep decanting it into my small bottle. So, and it means if I drop the bottle with the lid on, without the lid on, I don't spill as much. Do people cut the photo mat the size of the photos or the other way around? It depends. I I've done a book with the latest 49 and Market called One Perfect Day. That's not here, it's downstairs. And I've actually done the book for my niece gets married at the end of August. But because the card that I was using was a cream cardstock that I didn't have a lot of, and it was 12 by 12, I cut all my photo mats at 6 by 4 because I was able to get 6 photo mats out of one sheet at 12 by 12. So when I get the photos, I'll just trim them down a little bit so that they fit onto the photo mats. It doesn't really matter if I'm actually making a book to put photos in. Yeah, I've cropped the photos to fit. Or if you are doing a book and... So for instance, on this page, those are 2 4x4 photographs. So there is an app called Pick Stitch. So what I would do is within the app you can do different size photos. So I can do on a 6 by 4 photograph, I can do a 4 by 4 and a 2 by 4 photograph, print it out as 4 by 6. So it'll come out like that, and then just crop it down to fit onto the pages, which is quite good, rather than printing out 2 full-size photographs and then chopping half of it down and basically throwing it in the bin. That's kind of where I go. Yeah, it's definitely called Pick Stitch. I think it's PICSTICH. But if you put it in, it's just one of the apps. If you put it in the App Store, I'm sure it'll come up whichever phone you're on. Lorraine, I use these 3 sizes of, well, yeah, I have one that big as well. I have the mummy, the daddy and the baby, but they've all got the Sticks 2 glue in. And at one point I had a 500ml one to decant into that one, and sometimes into that one. But they've stopped doing the 500s now, so, and struggling to get the 30ml at the minute, which is why I keep refilling that one. So where was I up to? Done that. So on this one I'm going to use the bird. Doesn't really stand out there, so I might have to do some playing. Or if I pop some of the doily there and then put the bird on there, quite like that. And then up here, whoops, I tend to find if I've got lots of faffy bits like these, if you've got room to turn them all round so you can see what they are, you can then decide which one you want to go where. Now I think I'm going to put a tag down here with the dragonfly on. So I'm just going to darken the, I've gone a bit darker on the edges of that one just because I want it to stand out a bit more. So pop your glue on there, and I'm going to stick the dragonfly tag there. And then I'm going to pop that at the top. And then when I get to the end of the book, if I've got bits and pieces left, once I've put all my photos and everything in, I might go back and use the rest of them up. So yeah, that's the one, Lorraine, and it is fairly straight. Well, I can use it, so it is pretty straightforward. But if you use things like, I know, I'm assuming that everyone puts photographs in their mini albums. I try to, it doesn't always work. So if I pop that there, and I've lost my bird. There he is. Free prints and Snapfish. You can order 45 prints free every month, and all you pay is the postage, which I think is about £2.99. Which is cheaper than a lot of other places, because I have looked at that. Right, so that's just a little bit wonky. I'm just going to trim that edge down. So I've got my bird on there. I was going to 3D the dragonfly up, but it's a little bit, in fact I might do it anyway. It is a little bit bigger than the dragonfly that's on the paper. But we can do it, and if it doesn't look right, I'll take it off. Let me see. So I'm sure you've all got offcuts of grey board like this. If you haven't, give me a shout and I'll send you some of mine. Gonna cut that down. And I think, no, it's a bit too big still. Not sure if many of you have seen it in the group, but in October, the crop that Cal used to run in Dunstan Heath in Staffordshire, and we're actually doing a 2-day crop, which a bit wonky. So if you've got any, or if you want to just come along and play, or a couple of people have said that they're going to bring some of their Cal kits that have perhaps been on the naughty step, for whatever reason they've not been finished. If you want to come along to the 2-day crop, you're more than welcome. Just like, if you pop a note on the post in the group, we can let you know the details. Ooh, I'm liking that now. A lovely bunch of ladies. You don't have to be mad to join in, but you know, sometimes it's helpful. So if you want a, it's not a hotel unfortunately, but there is a hotel just the other side of the motorway, called the Holiday Inn Express. But yeah, if that's something you fancy, you need a weekend away, pop onto the group. It's £10 per day, and depending on where you live, if you need hotel and everything. But yeah, we'll be doing that in October. We did do a UFO weekend in January, where it is basically unfinished objects or unfinished projects. You can get quite a lot done in a weekend. You can get some kits finished or some projects finished. It does depend on how much crafty chatting you get done. There is some of that going on, so it will just see. And stick this tail down when it doesn't fling off. But yeah, it would be lovely to see you all, and it is something that Cal was quite passionate about, keeping a crop going and places for us girls to get together, put the world to rights, and make something nice at the end of it. Okay, that doesn't work if you don't stick it on. It wasn't on. So that's the last of our pages. Now, the only thing we've got left to do is put our pockets on the inside of our covers. So I'll move that out of the way because I need my big trimmer. So because the album's 8, we're going to do it at, let me just double check this because my brain's gone. Right, I'm going to do it at 9 1/4 by 4 1/8, which means you get 2 pockets out of 1 sheet of A4. I like to make sure we get the best use that we can. So, at your ball tool, so at half an inch from that side, oops, spin it round, and there we go. And again, half an inch from that side, and we've got our 2 pockets. I'm just going to miter the corners. On both sides. Okay. Quick slurp of my juice. Burnish the corners of the pockets. I don't put photos in. Nicole, you have to put photos in. So, my front, I'm going to put a pocket at the bottom. I apologise if you can hear my stomach rumbling. It has been fed this afternoon. It just wants more. And then on the back cover, I'm going to put my pocket on sideways, then we can slip things in, just because we might want to do it a little bit differently. It's entirely up to you. If you prefer all your pockets to be the same way, then that's your choice. There is no right or wrong way when you're making a book. It's whatever you feel is right. And if anyone else tells you otherwise, don't talk to them again. So there we have our, I'm not gonna do, I've got a piece to go on there, and then I'm gonna, don't know whether to stick a charm on it or not. I'm very undecided on that because I've not really got anything to dangle for it, unless I put some little tags back to back. Not sure about that one. But that's the front, and there's all my pages. So we've still got to decorate the insides and the spine and the pockets and put the pages in. Yeah, I think we'll do that next week then, because so next week we'll, oh, here's Helen. Made it only just. I love a I love a charm too, Helen, but there's not really anything. Normally, if I've no chipboard pieces, I use bits from the collection, but I don't know if they're a bit too flimsy. I might have a see if I can make them a bit sturdier and perhaps put 2 tags together and dangle them. I don't know. Or I might just, I could just do it from the front with a bulldog clip and hang. Too many choices. I hate being Nicole, I know exactly what you mean. I am very rarely in the photos. I'm usually the one taking the photographs, which is great, but when I look back at my boys when they were younger, they've loads of photos with the boys and the dad. However, not very many with me and them. And now the chance of getting them to stand still for a photograph is absolute zero. Yeah. I love scenery pictures as well. My only issue with them is if you take a picture of a beach, you don't always know which beach it was from. So it is nice if you get them printed when you remember where you've been, and put it in an album. You can write down which beach it was and where it was, so that you know, when you're old and grey like the rest of us, you can remember where you went. I wish I knew how to do the chains for charms. Not quite sure what you mean by the chains for the charms, Helen, because the chain comes as a chain, so I'm a bit confused there, but that could just be me, so don't worry about it. Maybe something floral and sparkly, maybe, but you have just given me an idea. Oh, I've tied it up somewhere. There it is. So, thanks, Helen. I'm going to use my tray. On the front of it, I haven't got anything floral and sparkly. but I'm going to use Glossy Accents, which is a really, it's quite an old glue. Now, let me get my glitter. Right, this is Crafting on the Hoof. Don't know where I've put my glitter. I must have glitter somewhere. Yep, wrong one. Why, if you have a choice of two? So, get your Glossy Accents. Make sure it'll squeeze out. Get a pin, stick it down to free it. So if you squeeze your Glossy Accents out, and I know some of the big companies, this is a Ranger one. Some of the big UK companies have brought their own out, but it's not quite as good as this one. So when you squeeze it out, it is quite 3D. What you can then do, Skittles. I've heard of Nouveau drops, but Skittles, I thought they were sweet. Pop some glitter. I use Glamour Dust, which is a very fine glitter. So I've just done the butterfly's wings. I'm intrigued, Nicole. What's apart from sweets, what's a glitter? A Skittle? Pop that on. And then, because I'm feeling like it, I'm going to do the dragonfly as well. Now, the only thing to remember if you're using Glossy Accents is it does take a while to dry. So don't drop anything on top of it that you don't mean to. Skittles you just meant. I'm intrigued to know what these Skittles are. So just pop your glue out, your glitter over your Glamour Dust. Sorry, start again. Yeah, this is, I'll tell you how old this is. This was when they did a Ranger Tim Holtz Today's Special Value on QVC, when they used to have craft days on QVC. So I'm just going to let all that glitter drop off now. Whoops, into my tray. And I'm just going to let them dry overnight. Put the Do you mean Stickles glitter glue? Yeah. They do, that's quite good. So, and the great thing about, even though I took loads and loads of glitter on the page, is you just whack it in your tray, get a brush, back in the bottle, lid on, tight, otherwise I have been known to knock the bottle over. So there we go. So next week we'll finish the book off, and I kept thinking Skittles are sweets. Or is that just because I'm hungry? We'll finish the book off next week, and I will show you the Travel 49 and Market book, book in a box of book. Then quite a few people have messaged me and said that they were unsure about starting a new book for August because they're on holiday, and they didn't want to miss anything. So I don't know what people think. What about if we did maybe some more scrapbooking, and I'll try and remember to put the, or perhaps, do you want to do some techniques so you can do, if you want to make your own background papers, the photo mats? Yeah, we can do that, Nicole. And then perhaps if anybody's got any stencils, I was at a workshop the other week, last weekend, when people use stencils to put the stencil down, ink through it, paint through it, and that was it. And there's so many more things you can do with a stencil, rather than just once you've put your paper and put your ink on it, they then wipe that ink off and it's kind of wasted, which, why waste it when you can make other things with it? Pop a note in the group. Beginning of September, the next book that I've got not quite ready for you to see yet, is using Cal's Sweet Treats papers, and there are 2 different ways of putting your photographs in the book. There's also a circular waterfall that I'm still trying to work out how to do easily. So rather than your waterfall come down, it goes round in a circle, but that's still in the prototype stage at the minute. I've got it and it does work, it's just a bit flimsy, so I'm going to work on that for you. But yeah, like I say, if there's anything you want apart from Cal's photo mats, do some techniques with different stencil things you can use your stencils for. If there's anything else that you'd like to know, or if there's something you want to know how to do, you've seen it on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, let me know. If it's complicated, give me a couple of weeks notice and then I can look it up and see if I can figure out how it's done. See, nice work Cal designed when people covered paper clips. Yeah, oh yeah, they're really good. Just because I've got a brain like a sieve. Photo mats, paper clips. So if there's anything else you'd like any techniques or tips you want for me to do during August, and then we'll start the sweet treat. I should have it ready to show. It's almost ready, but I don't want to show you yet because it's not quite ready. If you drop something in the group, I will see what I can do and see if I can work out how things are done, and we'll let you know. Okay, thanks everyone for joining, and have a lovely weekend. I'm off to do a all-day workshop with Vicky Booting on Sunday, so that should be good. The transparent envelopes. Yeah, they are, I think it's called glassine envelopes. I'll have a look. I think you used to be able to buy the paper and make them yourself. I'll have a look and let you know next week. Okay, bye everyone. See you next week. Have a good time. Bye.